Into the Radius is one of those games that make you want to tape your headset around your face and continue playing for hours. And it's because it does one thing that a lot of VR titles out there don't really get correct: immersion. Now recently, I got the game after so many people not only talked about it on my For You page, but I got an email by the community manager asking me if I wanted to try out Into the Radius before Into the Radius 2 came out, which, by the way, I'm very happy and excited that developers are asking me to try out their games and to, showcase it. And I got the game for free, and I'm so happy because I've been wanting to try this game out for so long. You motherfucker. Told you to leave me the fuck alone or else you'll die. Now look where I got you. Death. Now with Into the Radius, it's basically a single player variation of Ghost of Tabor or Stalker in VR if you're a cultured Chad who understands what kind of game that is. And it really works so well in VR. I'm really impressed. Now when you first load into the game, it has this atmosphere of dread, ruin, and mystery. Oh, this is a new one. UAZ died in the middle of the road just before the mortar depot. They had to get out of there fast and left the ammo in a hurry. Gotta come back to fetch it. With anomalies walking around and exploding left and right, the world itself has been torn to shreds. Now you are a scavenger, and throughout the world, you are trying to find ways not only to survive with grit and determination, but you're also on a quest to figure out what has happened with another character named Katya, which more on that later. Now this game isn't just about looting and surviving, but it's also about the space warping, the anomalies, and everything in between that has cracked through our reality thanks to the Radius, which is that big black hole circling our world. From phasing humanoid figures to tumbleweeds that are cracked out more than a kid on Prime. Shit. Shit. Where are you? What the fuck? Oh shit. Oh god damn it. Okay, we gotta go. Fuck. It's a wonder to explore this game, learn about it, and to defend yourself against all odds of nature and non-nature characters. Now, lore-wise, you are a scavenger who works for a company that tries to make sure humanity survives during this apocalyptic event. They give you the basic needs and then push you into the world. You loot, kill, and try to survive in the world while also finding out what happened with a character named Katya. She apparently can only talk to you and is the statue in pure white. But what about the gameplay? What makes the gameplay so immersive? Well, let's talk about it. Now, this game is very similar in every other VR that has come out. You have guns, grenades, utilities, etc. But there is a beautiful survivalist aspect to it that makes my gears all lubed up. One of those things is weapons have durability, which you need to upkeep as much as possible while trying to fight those damn tumbleweeds, little fuckers. And if not, they'll actually jam the gun and make it impossible for you to shoot and defend yourself. There's also an energy and fatigue bar, which you need to upkeep with sleeping and eating food for your character to be in the best condition possible. There's also special things in the world called artifacts, which you can get from killing anomalies and finding it with one of your gadgets, which is pretty cool, by the way. Now, I haven't fully dived deep into the game because you need to rank up your character to level 5, or I think it's like survivalist level 5, to experience everything gameplay mechanic-wise. I just got into level 2, and I learned how to avoid anomalies, sightlines, and ducking behind cover to sneak around enemies. And what's really cool is that when you do these kinds of mechanics, they actually work in the game. They're not just there for show. No, they literally work. Even though it's easier to just go guns blazing, there's always a certain moment where you want to do a sneak around or trying to be hidden from anomalies because maybe you don't have enough bullets, maybe you don't have enough food, water, whatever else. It's an awesome feature in my opinion. Now, another gameplay aspect is the tide, which is basically a wipe of all the loot and anomalies that you killed, and they reset them essentially. And that's what brings up that idea of Ghosts of Tabor being in-game wipes that happen naturally with in-game hours or in-game days. But that means that this game is very replayable, because not only do you not know where you're gonna get when the tide hits, but it makes each run special and unique to their own run. And the best thing about it is the loot changes every single time, so you don't know exactly what you're going to get. And sure, there are some areas where they have high tier loot, you know, there's higher tier boxes or more boxes there, but there's also areas that you wouldn't expect to see loot, yet there's loot there. It always makes things special and replayable, because you never know what you're going to find in the world of Into the Radius. Now, it's not just the tide that makes it special. Another thing is just the atmosphere of the game itself. Seeing the devastation of the world that it's in right now, with a gray color scheme covering almost everything, while the ash of the world falls down slowly, while you hear remnants of lore and history of the civilians that used to live in the world, but now they're long gone and become these weird statues that are very blocky. It just gives you a sense of not only hopelessness, but remembrance of the world that you once knew is now gone. For example, when you walk through certain doors, you can hear them close behind you. Or people talking around you, yet nothing is there. Certain anomalies are also capable of replicating human voices and trying to bait you out. There are also anomalies that are invisible, and the only way you can actually find them or see what happens is when you toss a bullet casing across the way, and to see Mojang trying to make Minecraft 2 in 4D. And I think that's one of the things that also makes things unique, is that a lot of the objects in the game are interactable. I don't think you can take all the objects in the game back to your house, but it's really cool that you can interact with everything. Even though they're not really useful to you, there's something in there that is interactable. This game just fucking rocks. I just have to say it, man. It's amazing how much effort these developers have put into this game for so long. Even with a 2.0 release, I think it's at like a 2.7.2 update right now. And now they're making a sequel for the game with a much better direction, not only for gameplay mechanics, but also graphics and atmosphere. And it's going to be in early access this year, which, by the way, if the developers are watching this, I'm hoping to get a early access little peek at that game. You know, just maybe get a copy for a person that I want to play with as well. I mean, hey.
Kendrick! Drop another diss track, and my life is yours!
But you get the picture. It's fantastic, and I think a lot of people need to give it a shot before Into the Radius 2 comes in. Now, before the video ends, I do want to give some feedback to the developers for when they make their next game, and I'm hoping to see these features be added into the future. I'm not saying they need to add it right now, but I think it would be really cool to see some of these features either change or be added in. First of all, I would love to see weapons being able to mount onto walls or floors or fences or whatever. Just something about putting down a weapon, even with a bipod or a tripod, and setting it up to defend yourself against anything that comes your way, just really sounds like a good time. The second thing, weapon snapping can really break the immersion a little bit. Anytime that I used to put my hand to the weapon, it always makes the weapon snap and makes my other hand have an awkward angle to try to adjust to. And for me, it just feels a little awkward, but honestly, I wouldn't even know how to fix that because I can barely make a fucking character move in any game engine. But I would like to see a smoother movement system for not only ADSing without virtual stock, but I would also like to see if they could do an animation where if you're to grip the gun, instead of your gun being the one that kind of snaps to the hand, I kind of wish the hand snapped to the gun so that it feels more comfortable when you hold it up. Personally, for me anyways, that's just how I feel about it. I don't know if other people have a different feeling towards ADSing in this game. That's just my opinion. And the third thing is better ways to make the sitting down feature a little bit more accessible. When I crouch behind cover, I do get nauseous when I do have a snap crouch instead of like a smooth crouch variation. And I don't like to stand up all the time while playing VR, except for like maybe some games like Blade and Sorcery or a couple other games where the lean mechanic matters, like in Breachers VR. But what I would like to see is a way for you to smooth crouch down instead of snap crouching. And that would make it a lot easier, not only for people who have a harder time playing VR games, but it makes it easier for people to kind of get a good angle of what variation of the crouch that they're in. You can look at Breachers VR, Ghost of Tabor, or Pavlov, or whatever game that's out there that has that. For me, I like Breachers VR because it allows you to have a percentage of how much you crouch instead of it being just insta crouch down to the floor and you're sniffing your own damn feet. But yeah, that's really it for me. And before I head off, one more thing. I will be doing a 24-hour live stream playing Ghost of Tabor if and only if we reach 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So let your friends know, let your family know, let random people know even, and hit that subscribe button if you really want to see this happen. And I'll be streaming it on Twitch because YouTube is a hot mess just to stream and set up alone. And if I was to stream onto Kick, well, if you know, you know. But anyways, I hope you have a fantastic day and or week. Deuces. Take care, everyone.